Guiding question for this new moon is, what does true emotional nourishment look like for you? And where are you ready to receive it? The Cancer new moon invites us into a space of quiet tenderness and potent beginnings. This is Celestia Astrology and I'm Sonia. Thank you for joining me. If you're enjoying this, please remember to like, subscribe and comment with a moon emoji or a crab if you've experienced some of the things that we discuss here. And please share your story if you wish to. Cancer is a water sign, traditionally ruled by the moon with Jupiter as its exaltation ruler. Unlike the other cardinal signs, Aries, where assertion comes from action, or Libra, where negotiation comes from diplomacy and compromise, action in Cancer comes from emotional knowing. The watery lunar crab. Cancer is feminine in gender, yin, and deeply responsive. Its modality is cardinal, and its element is water. Cancer energy seeks connection and safety. It moves carefully and thoughtfully through intuition and empathy. Its leadership comes through protection and care, like a motherly hand instinctively reaching to soothe. The symbol of Cancer is the crab. We know that the crab is soft and vulnerable on the inside, shielded by a strong outer shell. The crab teaches us about emotional self-protection. It carries its home on its back, reminding us that safety isn't always external, showing us how it must be portable, internal, needing resilience as it is self-created through emotional regulation and self-trust. The sideways movement of the crab reflects how Cancer approaches life, not in direct confrontations, but through intuition, circling, sensing, and choosing when to move forward or retreat back to the sandy dark depths. This shows us the wisdom of Cancer, knowing which battles to pick, and the wisdom of knowing when to act. The crab reminds us that it's okay to protect our soft places, and that nurturing doesn't require exposure, only presence. As a water sign, Cancer speaks the language of feelings, security, and emotions. Water holds memory, dissolves barriers, and moves through unseen channels. Its nature is receptive and enveloping, sometimes nourishing, other times overwhelming. In Cancer, water gathers around the hearth and home, family, roots and belonging. But like the tides it governs, this sign is never still. Its emotional tone is shaped by the moon, the ruler of Cancer, which shifts signs every 2 to 3 days. This lunar rulership gives Cancer its deep sensitivity, but also its changeability. The moon can signify our fortune, how we need to be nurtured, and how our safety needs are met. The moon is the fastest moving body in traditional astrology, and as ruler of Cancer, this swift motion can have a destabilizing effect. Lunar time is cyclical, not linear. It guides or pulls us through phases, moods and tides before we can fully anchor into the sense of where we were. Those born under Cancerian influence may feel emotionally rich, but experience this fluctuation. What is secure one day may feel uncertain the next. This motion is built by design. It is the natural motion of lunar life, not a flaw. Cancer is the first sign in the Thema Mundi, and the ancients called it the portal of mortals, believing that human souls entered the earthly realm by descending from the firmament through the planets to the moon and finally to be birthed into this world. Learning to live with this rhythm, rather than resisting it, is part of Cancer's path. With this new moon being in its own sign and its own decan, we meet the most lunar expression of lunar energy, receptive, nurturing, and capable of profound emotional intelligence. Jupiter is the exaltation ruler of Cancer, known in Hellenistic astrology as the Greater Benefic, a life-giving planet of wisdom, faith, luck, growth, and abundance. Such a new moon or full moon is relatively rare, as Jupiter visits for a year in its 12-year journey around the zodiac. Cancer moon family, seeding a new story. New moons are always about beginnings, a fresh slate, setting the stage for a lunar cycle. Dietrich Pessin's concept of the moon family, outlined in Lunar Shadows 3, suggests that each new moon initiates a series of interconnected phases, creating a predictive pattern. This gives us a longer 27-month narrative that unfolds every 9 months as the moon returns to the same part of the sky to form turning points or pivots in the story. A new moon is the beginning of a cycle, a seed moment full of potential where we set intentions and orient towards new growth. It is the invisible phase, asking us to tune into subtler inner promptings and begin again, often without external clarity. This Cancer new moon belongs to a family that will unfold over 27 months. The first quarter moon on the 25th of March, 2026, 5 degrees of Cancer. The full moon on the 24th of December, 2026 at 2 degrees of Cancer. The last quarter moon on 23rd of September 2027 at 0 degrees of Cancer. This cycle begins with a question of emotional belonging. Where are we being asked to invest care? Who or what are we growing alongside? Those with planets or angles in early Cancer, Capricorn, Aries or Libra may feel the shift more intensely, especially if themes of family, home or emotional security have been stirring. You can see that the story falls between the degrees of 0 to 5 degrees, so any planets within 0 to 8 degrees of the Cardinal, that's Cancer, Capricorn, Aries and Libra, or the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, or those with the moon as their lord of the year by perfection, can work with the best outcomes from this moon family. An astrologer or an astro coach can help you with this if you want to work with the opportunities that this moon family offers. The Decan of Cancer 1, Nourishing Intimacy. This new moon falls in the first decan of Cancer, traditionally co-ruled by Venus and the moon. These are both planets of the night, and their collaboration in this space is both tender and complex. Austin Coppock calls this decan mother and child. He writes that this decan holds both our emotional and biological desires, the womb that gives birth to us, and all of our resulting needs. Kira Ryberg names it connection, reminding us that Cancer 1 is about bonds, not boundaries. There is a sweetness here, but also vulnerability. In the best cases, we are seen and supported. In shadow, we may cling or merge too deeply, losing a sense of self in the desire to belong. We may draw on our relationships as inspiration, which may lead us towards new skills or knowledge. The Wild Way Oracle card for Cancer 1 shows 2 dolphins gliding together in harmony. You may also see that they form the shape of what may be the Cancer portal, ready for birth. The key words offered for reflection are nourishment, intimacy, and enmeshment. The story here is simple but powerful. We are asked to consider the state of our closest emotional ties. Are our relationships rooted in mutual care? Do they replenish us or deplete us? And can we trust the people we allow into our inner sanctum? The Dolphin card reminds us that emotional connection is essential, but it must also be reciprocal to be sustainable. Just like the tides governed by the moon, intimacy must also be allowed to ebb and flow. The Tarot card, the 2 of Cups, the Lord of Love. The tarot card associated with this decan is the 2 of Cups. In the image, 2 figures meet, each holding a cup. Their gaze is soft and open. The card represents mutual recognition, emotional exchange, and the possibility of real partnership. It is a card of promise, but also of conscious choice. Love and support are available, but maybe only when both parties bring their full presence and attention to the other. This card echoes the new moon's invitation. Where can we enter into soul-level connection with ourselves and others? Austin Coppock develops his theme of mother and child to the more romantic love we see in the 2 of Cups. It is the perfect support, half remembered from the womb, that gives rise to the human dream of similarly nursing bonds between committed partners. T. Susan Chang, Untangling the Threads. T. Susan Chang's verse in Dreaming the Decans for Cancer 1 offers a beautiful and insightful perspective, sweet and tender as the night. Her verse evokes the mystical beauty of emerging love, the harmony of meeting another and feeling seen. Mirror me and be reflected. reminding us that intimacy is not only about affection, it is also about recognition. These lines capture the tender alchemy of this new moon. We are not called to dramatic action. We are asked to respond, reflect, and receive. The astrological conversation. The astrological sky deepens the nuance and offers further threads to weave. The moon, in its own sign and Decan, is conjunct Jupiter, the exaltation ruler of Cancer. This brings us a benefic lunation in nurturing Cancer. Co-present Mercury offers words for our feeling, helping us name our needs for closeness and care. The moon is engaged in a sextile to Mars in Virgo, a detail-oriented ally who supports through service and spreadsheets. Mars can be overzealous, busy or efficient here, offering protection that becomes control, so it helps to remain open, not defensive. Beware of leaning into the shadow of Cancer with this sextile, the devouring mother archetype. The moon is separating from a square with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, perhaps showing a recent disillusionment or boundary check that has cleared space for something gentler. The consequences are still playing out as the planets remain close. Venus makes a whole sign sextile, offering strong and steady friendship from sensory Taurus, bringing a stabilizing presence challenged by co-present Uranus in Taurus. The North Node in Pisces and South Node in Virgo also lend quiet support. Our deeper karmic paths are trined and sextile by whole sign by this moon, suggesting that small gestures of trust and tenderness may open doors to long-term healing, supportive opportunities to help us along our way. This lunation asks us to pause and listen to our emotional instincts. Are our needs for intimacy and care being met? Are we willing to let ourselves receive and not just give? Does that mean giving up some independence? The influence of this new moon may be subtle at first, but it sets in motion a long wave of emotional evolution. The theme is nourishment, not just food or comfort, but emotional and soul nourishment. We are learning to feed what feeds us in return. Take time to connect. Share a moment of real presence with someone you love and care for. Consider beginning a ritual of self-care that speaks directly to your heart. The seed you plant now will unfold over the seasons, shaped by tides of trust and tenderness. Mirror me and be reflected. Meeting of two minds connected. T. Susan Chang. Who and what do you reflect? Where is your connection nurtured? Travel well, friends, if you prefer to have your question answered by a chart at the moment. My Guardian reading is still available to subscribers on Substack by donation as well. So do find me over there on Substack and do reach out to me with any questions. Thank you so much for joining me.